All right, sir. We good to go. We live.
Good. All right, Most High in Christ. Let's go ahead. Of course, we want to give it a second. Just give enough time for people to hop in. I'm gonna go ahead and share it. Let's see. I believe we live on YouTube, right?
Carl Khan.
Are we live on a Gary channel?
No, live, sir.
Is it possible to do so?
Not live, not at the moment.
Okay.
Also, Facebook, like it's a little bit of a problem. Facebook too,
So what's going on Facebook?
not letting us go live. It's not StreamYard problem. It's Facebook problem.
Meaning, are we got a strike or?
No. It's just a Facebook connection problem right now. I'm looking at it right now.
Okay.
We on Chicago YouTube and Twitter.
All right. Is it possible to get the Facebook up and running?
No. It's a Facebook issue. So no.
Meaning like Facebook just completely
Yeah.
fucked up.
Right.
Oh man, that's not
Actually,
good.
I could choose a different. Let me see. See if I can go on Roundtable YouTube.
Let's see.
Hmm.
Bear with us 1 second while we work this out.
We live on a Chicago page, though, sir. I had to switch around.
On Facebook.
Yeah, matter of fact, let me try it again because it was working now.
Okay.
Might be able to. Okay, Costa, we good to go.
We good? Most high in Christ. Definitely wanted to get that
Facebook.
Facebook, popping. All right, let me go ahead and share this joint. Give me 1 second. Are you sure?
It says it's good on here.
I don't see it on my end.
Yeah, me neither.
Right there, we got the highest city to teach us past. Oh. All right, let's just go ahead and share the YouTube to Facebook. Do it like that. Bear with me. Excuse me. Excuse me. Lord forbid I'm coming down with something.
Mm-hmm.
All right. All right, I'm gonna share this joint to my Facebook. Are we able to share this? Are you able to share this on the Roundtable True Facebook?
Yeah, Carl, sir. I'll just choose online Chicago classes. Click
Uh,
on.
definitely. Okay. Most High in Christ. Um, definitely. Gotta take the time to make sure that this gets shared. Not because I'm, somebody special, but things that the priests and prophets bring out in the ISBK is what the Lord wants the world to hear. So I definitely want to make sure this get out on the platforms. We get started in just about 1 second. 1 second flat. All right. All right. How we looking, Rosh?
Sir, we good to go out. I didn't share the link on YouTube. I'm gonna share the link right now to the Roundtable Facebook.
Let me know once we're good on that.
All right, concert, we gotta go.
I'm good. All right, Most High in Christ. Let's go ahead and clap it up. Let's go ahead and get to it. Another episode of the War Report. Of course, this is a segment of the Roundtable of Truth. This segment, called the War Report, is where you get all your World War III updates, everything that's going on. This past Sunday, we covered the Pacific Theater with China. And just to show you how the Lord works, we planned on covering Africa this Tuesday, and lo and behold, the government of France collapsed due to what's occurring in Africa. Give the Lord a hand for that. But when I seen that, I believe it was yesterday. Yeah, I seen it yesterday. The collapse of the government in France. I said, "Oh, Most High in Christ! I cannot wait to get on live and go ahead and tell the world what's going on."
Right.
So real quick, Rosh, go ahead and pull up that first video if you could. We're gonna go over what's happening in Africa and how is it connected to the fall of France.
Mm.
So real quick, just to give some background of what's going on. So in France right now, France is the government of France, quote unquote, collapsed. France is now, it's been probably a little over a year that they didn't had 3 prime ministers.
Dang.
So they just fired the last prime minister, I believe, either Monday or Sunday night, which a prime minister in France has damn near equal power as the president of France. So this ain't just some small thing. It's damn near like if Donald Trump was forced to resign.
Mm.
And the reason why France is going through so many prime ministers is because they're in a economic they're in economic turmoil, meaning that the country of France is so much in debt that their yearly GDP, or gross domestic product, or how much money France
Mm-hmm.
brings in every year, the debt overcomes that. So France debt is 114% of their GDP.
Mm.
So how much money France produces, the debt of France is more, it overshadows what they produce by 14%.
Damn.
So they're in debt every year. They're at a negative every year.
Mm.
Which, no country can sustain itself like that. And the reason why France is in a negative every year is because what happened in Africa. What happened in Africa was, it was pretty much a revolution. It was a revolution of three or so African countries that were controlled by France, and they pretty much overthrew the colonial power of France and kicked them out the country. And in turn, France cannot take any more resources that they steal from Africa to fuel their country. So
Mm.
without those resources that they get from Africa, France is pretty much finished. They're not they can't be self-sustained with the resources that they have in their homeland. That's why they have to be a colonial power and, pretty much bully smaller countries and take their resources, force them into 360 deals, just typical Esau tactics.
Right.
So let's go ahead and just jump into this first video real fast.
Okay.
Wondered why France has been so much
No,
involved in
this is
Africa.
not it.
Oh, it's like it's. I got it. I was
Yeah.
TikTok got me jammed. Oh, there it is.
stay put. They're saying the situation is unclear this hour. But more broadly for France, I mean, this is a real concern, isn't it? We have another former colony where apparently a coup d'etat or something like it has taken place.
Yes, and especially from a security standpoint, this is really bad news. I mean, Mali has been bad news. You have two coups, and now neighboring Burkina Faso also in the throes of a potential coup. This is
Pause that.
because.
So what are you speaking about? This video came out. So through a series of videos that we're going to play tonight, we're going to show you why France is in the position economically that and politically that is in right now through a series of videos. So this video right here, this happened 3 years ago. So 3 years ago, France was in control of hey, shalom, sis. France was in control of 3 countries in Africa: Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso. These 3 countries had I'm talking about a ton of resources as far as cobalt, gold, uranium, and all types of things. And these resources you need to make batteries, electric cars, things for your cell phone, nuclear power, gold. So France was taking all these resources from these 3 countries. Now he's explaining right now that those 3 countries had a coup d'etat, or meaning the people of the country overthrew the government and replaced the current government with a different, what they would call, regime. So go ahead and play it.
The military, as one French minister recently told me, are supposed to fight the jihadists, but they seem to spend more time fomenting coups than actually fighting. And this is especially a problem when you've announced, like the French president has done a few months ago, that there would be a drawback of French forces supposed to hand the baton to those very forces now scheming coups. And so this is really a major security problem for the French in the Sahel region. And this will put pressure on Emmanuel Macron as we enter the presidential race, because the opposition is going to ask questions. What exactly are we doing in Mali? What exactly are we doing in Burkina Faso if there are coups, if the jihadists are gaining the upper hands? And so, yes, this is really a big problem for France, for its image, and also for its military.
Okay, so if you hear this French TV personality, if you hear him speak, he keep mentioning jihadist. Are you familiar with a jihadist, Raj?
Yeah, Carl. So the jihad means holy war.
Right. So he's saying pretty much the French military is in Africa to fight jihadists, which that is a complete and utter lie. That's the front or the mask that they use to, say this is why we're here in Africa. We're in Africa fighting a war on terror. In actuality, they're there taking the resources. So if you hear him keep saying security and jihadists, and that's a lie. Keep going. Or actually, you can go to the next video. So this video we just seen, this happened 3 years ago, and it was the setup to the fall of France. Now, the next video that you finna play happened 2 years ago.
France and Burkina Faso have
Pause real fast.
French military operations in the.
Just to give a background, so this happened 2 years ago. Now, the coup d'etat that happened in Mali, the coup d'etat that happened in Niger, and the coup d'etat that happened in Burkina Faso, they were all successful. So they overthrew the French puppet government and installed leaders that were for the people. So in turn, the new governments of these nations kicked out the French military. So without the French military, you have no control of your colonies. If you have no control of your French colonies, then you can't export the resources out of the country. So this was 2 years ago. Play it.
The West African country, the Burkinabe Armed Forces said on Sunday. The flag-lowering ceremony at a French Special Forces camp marks a new chapter in Burkina's battle with groups linked to Al-Qaeda and Islamic State. They've taken
So,
over
Ross,
large
what you just seen with that flag and the French forces and the Burkina Faso forces, it was kind of like moment of recognition, you can say.
Yeah, right.
Those were the last French special forces in the country. So it was 400 of those soldiers left in the country. So those were the last to leave the country. So it was kind of like a farewell, 21 gun salute type of deal.
Mm.
So 2 years ago, the last of the French forces was kicked out. Go ahead and play.
Cold cuss. What was the country? Faso?
Burkina Faso.
Oh, Burkina Faso. African.
Khan.
Okay.
Hamites.
of land and displaced millions in the wider Sahel region, just south of the Sahara. The departure of some 400 special forces follows a sharp deterioration in relations between Ouagadougou and Paris. In January, Burkina Faso's junta, which seized power last year, gave France a month to withdraw its troops. That followed a sharp increase in demonstrations by opponents of the French military presence. Such protesters have been marking the anticipated departure in their own way. This is footage of a French military convoy heading to Ouagadougou airport last week and being chased by shouts of French army terrorist.
Pause this. So this is a African citizen of Burkina Faso screaming at the French convoy that's leaving the country. He's saying French terrorists. Now,
Mm.
why do you think he's saying something such as that?
Because I want to put it at this point because what France was doing, just invading Africa, just to have it.
Everybody knows in the country, all the citizens know of that country that France is robbing them blind.
Right.
I'm talking about robbing them blind to the point. This is how bad it was. France was taking 95% of the country's GDP or the resources in the country and only giving back 5%.
Damn.
Gosh,
Yo.
I'm talking about it was diabolical.
Good night.
And in turn, hey, shalom, and in turn, that thievery was keeping France afloat.
Mm.
But of course, oppression will turn a man into, revolution.
Right.
Keep going.
Oh, if I may too, sir, and also too, and then it makes it seem like the countries are the rebellion. They're the rebellion.
Absolutely. So to the Western news, the Western blogs and news outlet will make it look like what's the cat from the president of Burkina Faso,
Mm.
Abraham Trevor. He
Mm.
looks like the new jihadist, or he looks like the new, evil Darth Vader, Sith Lord
Sith Lord.
that has to be defeated. But in actuality, this is some Hamite that's just stepping up and fighting for the welfare of his people.
Mm-hmm.
But of course, like the scriptures say, Raj, that Esau is the prince of the airwaves, meaning he's the chief captain of propaganda.
Mm-hmm.
He can turn a narrative and spin it to his benefit.
Right.
And we see that every day. We go ahead and play some more.
Over the past week, a small group of anti-French protesters has met each evening to watch out for signs of the withdrawal. This is protest leader Amadei Compaore.
Nous sommes là pour une veille
We are here to show our patriotism,
pour soutenir,
to show our support to the transition,
pour soutenir
to show support to our army, to show support to Captain Ibrahim Traore,
Ibrahim Traoré, pour dire non
to say no to French imperialism, to say no to the French military.
à le militaire français.
Some of the demonstrators
Now,
also
Raj.
held.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, of course, I'm reporting on this because this is geopolitical politics, and this goes into World War III.
Mhm.
But it's also a teaching tool for blacks and Hispanics back at home. These Hamites were under colonial oppression,
Mhm.
and it took some militant leaders to stand up
Exactly.
and change what was going on in their communities. Go ahead, Rosh.
And if I may, sir, we're saying it's so heavy because it takes an extreme person who really loves their people. But the world ain't gonna look the same. Don't look like these are just they're insurgents. They're insurgents. They're
Right.
the radical group. But you're legitimately trying to save your people. France was taking 90% of the country wealth.
55.
95%. That's like, damn.
It's insane.
Yeah, right.
It's absolutely insane.
Right.
Now that the people, they're going to get 95% of their wealth back. Imagine what their country is going to look like. Imagine if black people in the ghetto would get 95% of their wealth back in a black and Hispanic neighborhood. Imagine if McDonald's wouldn't take all our money and you can open up a small business of barbecue or something like that, or if it was in Walmart taking up every goddamn thing, or the Korean hair supply chain, the Arab corner stores.
Mhm.
This is our story. This is what happened. The same thing is happening here in America, where black and Hispanic people are at. We are under colonial oppression.
Right.
And it's just going to take some real militant leaders to see that and act on it.
Right.
All right, Rosh, we can get the next video. So this previous video that we just seen was 2 years ago. So 3 years ago, the coup d'etat happened. They took over the government. Then 1 year after that, they kicked the French military out. Now this next video, it goes into detail of what the French were doing in those countries. And this video was 7 months ago. So we're going down the line of how the fall of France actually happened. That will be the last video, Rash.
Okay, cool. I got the video. This one.
Let's play this. Now, this specific video right here is going to go into fine detail of why France is collapsing. Go ahead and play it.
Africa, especially in the Sahel region. Former French President Jacques Chirac once said France would become a third world country without Africa. Now, it seems to be happening as France and French corporations are facing massive losses after they have been kicked out from Burkina Faso, Niger, and Mali. Recently, it has been revealed that Air France has faced a collective loss of 65 million euros because it was kicked out of the Sahel region. The loss has been so painful that Air France wants to return to the Sahel region. However, Ibrahim Traoré from Burkina Faso and other military leaders in Mali and Niger will never let that happen. So what desperate actions France is making for an immediate return to Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger, and what losses it is facing? In this video, let's know about that.
You can fast forward like 20 seconds or so.
20 seconds.
Right there.
Stranglehold over the region. Nowhere is this decline more visible than in the financial devastation faced by Air France, which has lost over 65 million euros since being forced out of the Sahel.
So they're honing on key French businesses. One huge profitable business that was in that section of Africa was Air France, which they pretty much had a monopoly on air travel. I believe they were making over $2 million profit every day and sending it back to the French government.
Damn.
Keep going. Which that all ceased once leaders came into power that actually cared about the people. That ceased. Keep going.
For Air France, the Sahel was more than just another destination. It was a highly profitable monopoly. The airline generated staggering daily revenues, 500 million CFA francs from Mali, 430 million from Niger, and 390 million from Burkina Faso. adding up to over 2 million euros per day. This level of profit was a reflection of just how deeply France depended on the Sahel for economic survival. And we are only talking about one of the hundreds of companies. But with the rise of military-led governments in these nations,
Raj, so the cat on the left,
Yeah.
he is the new president of Niger.
Mm.
Cat in the middle, he's the new I don't know if they say president, prime minister, or what. He's the new president of Burkina Faso. The cat to the right, he is the new president of Mali. Now, what does all three of them have in common?
No, African nations.
Okay, what's their spirit? What spirit? What type of vibe do they have on them?
They're here to help to liberate their people from France.
What do typical presidents look like?
Typical presidents in suit and ties.
Exactly. A typical president, you will see them in a suit, in a tie, looking real,
sophisticated,
friendly, real approachable. Not these cats right here. These cats are militant, and that's how they seized control and liberated their people. Not by being a pacifist,
a diplomat,
not by being Martin Luther King, not by being Gandhi and allowing French to continue to hit them in the head with a bottle and turn the other cheek.
Right. And
these three cats destroyed the entire economy of France. Think about that, Raj.
Damn.
A global power like France was destroyed by these three cats right here. And they tell us in the ISUPK that we crazy. That we ain't gonna change nothing. Okay, I hear you. I understand. Go ahead and play.
Go, cuz, sir. You know what you're saying is so heavy because it doesn't. People think that you can't win against America. You can't win. You can't beat them, join them. We're better off just getting a job and just celebrating holidays. Meanwhile, in UPK, the Lord gave us so much power. Understand? It's some people don't understand. Like by us going on that pulpit of wood, classes, feeding people is going to literally change the planet.
Now, Raj, we say this all the time. I'm talking about we've been saying it for years. If black people went on strike here in America, this country would implode within 24 hours. If we say we fed up of the working conditions, we fed up with the pay, we fed up with the housing, we're fed up with the racism, we're fed up of how we are treated at like second-class citizens here in this country, brother, America would implode within 24 hours. How do I know? These three cats did it.
Yep.
They did it. Go ahead and play.
Go.
And their firm rejection of French dominance, Air France was pushed out, cutting off one of its most lucrative revenue streams. The result has been a financial catastrophe, leaving the airline scrambling to regain access to the region. However, the new governments have made it clear that
oh my God.
Go back real fast.
I was not expecting to see him.
Go ahead and catch it when you see it, Raj. There we go.
we should have known, huh?
Now, right in the middle is Vladimir. Hey, Shalom. Right in the middle is Vladimir Putin, the president of Russia. Right next to him, I believe that is the president of India.
Yep.
So this is BRICS. So definitely understand, okay, with the coup d'etat, they were supported by Russia. And brother, if you think the Western powers is just going to let this go slightly, you are sadly mistaken. What's happening right here is going to be it's another powder keg for World War III. And it's glorious in my sight.
If I may, sir.
Go ahead.
I'm seeing I'm seeing how the Lord is moving the chess pieces. Because who's with Russia? China. Who's with China? I'm seeing the pieces fall together.
Raj, I'm glad the Lord gave us spiritual eyes to see. We see it clear as day. the chess pieces that the Lord is putting into order. Brother, it's war in China, Taiwan, Israel, Syria, um, Africa, Central America, South America. Ross, don't forget about the Ukraine war.
Right, Ukraine was still come on. Yep.
If you like, it's so just evident that the Lord is moving on this planet. The LGBTQ is at an all-time high. Just indecency and morality just does not exist in this time. And you can go back to the time of Noah when there was a similar time in spirit on the earth, and the Lord did away with the entire planet.
Mm-hmm.
We come into that time again. The Lord is going to do away with this entire evil empire, Babylon the Great, aka America.
Right.
Let's get some more on this video.
Okay.
However, the new governments have made it clear that the era of France's unchecked exploitation is over. The revolutionary leaders of Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger represent a new era of African governance, one that prioritizes sovereignty over submission. These leaders have taken bold steps to dismantle France's economic and military grip on their countries. That's because they know the reason France has leverage is because of the financial benefits it gets from Africa. If these are stopped, France will no longer have the financial backing that gives it international support. You should know that France has...
Raj, I'm talking about, brother, this is just mirrors our situation here in America. The reason why America is a global superpower is not because Esau is just something great, hey Shalom sis, or something just so powerful. It's because of us. You can read it in the Bible. Egypt was great because of the children of Israel. Egypt was great because of the slaves that it possessed. America is the same way. America is great because of the slaves that it possessed. Without us, this country would be nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead and play.
Has long maintained an image of economic strength and industrial power, but much of its success was built on resources it did not actually possess. Despite having little to no significant reserves of gold, uranium, and critical minerals, France remained a major exporter of these commodities for decades. These resources were not French, they were African. France extracted them from its former colonies, rebranded them as its own, and profited while African nations remained underdeveloped. One of the biggest examples of this exploitation was gold. France has no major gold mines, yet it exported vast quantities of the precious metal. The source has always been West African nations like Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger, where French companies controlled mining operations under unfair contracts. These deals ensured that African countries received only a small fraction of the wealth generated, while the gold was refined in France and sold as a French commodity. On this, Italy's Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni openly exposed France on live TV. Now, with Sahel nations reclaiming their resources and kicking out French companies, France's so-called gold exports have all but disappeared, revealing how dependent it was on African wealth.
Pause, brother. Our people don't really understand how diabolical Esau is. He will. The scripture tell you what. Matter of fact, give me that real quick, Raj. I believe it's in what book is that? It tell you, will he steal until he had enough?
Oh yeah. Okay.
Let's pull that real fast. Would he leave? I mean, some grapes. Esau was, I mean, it's like a game to him. Let me know once you have it.
Koran is the book of Obadiah, chapter 1 and verse 5. If thieves came to thee, if robbers by night, how art thou cut off? Would they have not stolen till they had enough?
The Lord is saying, okay, you stole. Your belly is full. Haven't you had enough? Go ahead.
Koran, if the gatherers came to thee, would they not leave some grapes?
would you not leave some grapes? Imagine this. France has been mining resources from those African countries for over what 70 odd years, maybe
Yep.
more,
Good night. It's a long
and
time.
they leave them with crumbs. I mean,
Mhm.
after a while, you would think, okay, damn, I done made a fortune for over 50 years. Okay, maybe I should start breaking these people off with, just a little bit of bread so they can build themselves up.
Mhm.
Not Esau. That's not how Esau thinks. Esau wants you to be a slave forever.
Mhm. Yep.
Let's go back to the video.
The same pattern applies to uranium, coltan, cobalt, and lithium, essential minerals for modern technology, electric vehicles, and batteries. France does not have significant reserves of these minerals, yet it remains an important player in the high.
Hmm.
Don't back it up. Give me 30 seconds just to go over those minerals. Some people don't understand how important owning land is.
Mhm.
Land is wealth because in the land there's resources, specific resources that you can build off of. The specific resources of Niger, Mali, and Burkina Faso were vast with cobalt, uranium, gold. Those things you turn into your everyday appliances. Go ahead and play.
Countries received only a small fraction of the wealth generated, while the gold was refined in France and sold as a French commodity. On this, Italy's Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni openly exposed France on live TV. Now, with Sahel nations reclaiming their resources and kicking out French companies, France's so-called gold exports have all but disappeared, revealing how dependent it was on African wealth. The same pattern applies to uranium, coltan, cobalt, and lithium, essential
Oh,
minerals for modern.
brother, those rocks are worth trillions.
Yep.
And people wonder why black people are in a state of hell that we're in because we don't own any wealth in on the planet.
Yep.
We think that we should be self-sustaining in the ghettos of America, which, brother, it just blows my mind. Black people always, what's wrong with us? What's wrong with us as a people? We don't own anything.
Right.
We stuck in the ghettos of America.
Mhm.
Meanwhile, these other races of people, they own land, they own cobalt, which you can use to build electric vehicles. They own uranium, they own gold, they own a vast amount of resources, and we own none of it. Go ahead.
Modern technology, electric vehicles, and batteries. France does not have significant reserves of these minerals, yet it remains an important player in the high-tech industry. But that is changing. Burkina Faso, Niger, and Mali's rejection of French influence is not just about political autonomy, but also about dismantling the structural economic dependence that kept Africa subservient to France.
Pause.
This movement
The economic dependence that kept Africa subservient to France.
Mhm.
Black, Hispanic, and North American Indians, we have a economic dependence to Esau in North America that keep us subservient to our oppressor. Go ahead, Rosh.
Go concert. If I made two, it's all in the scriptures of Deuteronomy 28. You shall go to your enemy for everything. I'm
Oh
paraphrasing.
my God. Read that, Rosh, please.
Go con.
Brother, they tell you that racism don't exist. They tell you that we living in the past and the things we speak about is made up and this and that. Well, I'm looking at a real life example in Africa right now.
Mhm.
Read it once you got it.
Go con. Book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, and verse. What verse you want to go to?
All things.
All things. Go con. Dun, 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 dun. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, and verse, I think, 36.
Mm-hmm.
The Lord shall bring thee thy king, which thou shalt set. Oh, sluggy, sir. Let's go down.
The want of all things.
Go kind of want of all things. Oh, Kawakan, verse 48. Therefore shalt thou serve thy enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee,
Mm-hmm.
in hunger,
Mm-hmm.
and in thirst,
Mm-hmm.
and in nakedness,
Mm-hmm.
and in want of all things.
This is how you become subservient underneath another people. This is how you allow police brutality and turn a blind eye and say, it happens, or that's just life, because you are economically dependent on another race of people. Anymore?
Kawakan. And he shall put a yoke of iron upon
Okay,
thy.
you can hold that. Let's go back. Let's get a little bit more of this video. Just get some more details on why France is in the economic decline that it's in right now.
Gained momentum through a series of military coups that fundamentally altered the power dynamics in the Sahel. The overthrow of pro-French regimes was not merely about local politics, but an outright rejection of France's neo-colonial dominance. Paris reacted with fury, attempting to impose sanctions, severing diplomatic ties, and seeking to isolate the new governments. Yet these actions only accelerated France's downfall in the region. Instead of bowing to external pressure, the new leadership expelled French troops, shut down French embassies, and nationalized key industries that were once controlled by French corporations. Among the most symbolic and financially devastating blows was the removal of Air France, cutting off a major economic artery for France. For decades, Air France was more than just...
That's it on that. It goes into a lot more. Just for time's sake, we're not going to cover the whole video. It's an excellent video. Whoever put it together, get him a hand. That was excellent. Let's go ahead and pull up that last video. Now, we just went through a timeline to show you why. Okay, in this next video, why is that happening? So we went 3 years back when the coup d'etat happened in that area of Africa. Then a year after that, the French military was thrown out, and then we seen the result of the French resources ceasing to export from that area. Now let's see the result. Go ahead.
Monday voted to oust Prime Minister Francois Bayrou, leaving France without a government and in a political crisis. Bayrou was booted following his move to push through an unpopular $51 billion austerity plan that involved canceling 2 public holidays and freezing government spending. President Macron will name a new prime minister in the coming days. Lawmakers on Monday voted to oust Prime Minister Francois Bayrou.
That's the prime minister right there. Yesterday, he got voted out of power, meaning he had to resign. He had to give up his power in the government. Why? Because of what happened in Africa. Meaning he was the 3rd prime minister to get fired within a year. This pretty much is what's going on in France. They're looking for somebody to blame. They're looking for somebody to point the finger at because they're done. It's over with. It's over with for France. Without the colonial resources that they were snatching from that area in Africa, they can't sustain themselves. They're not self-sufficient. A lot of countries are like that are just not self-sufficient. Now, with this, we need to look and search the internet for the prophecy that Commander Jehana put out. Commander Jehana been saying for years. Let's find some videos of him saying it for years and put together a compilation and put it out. For years, Commander Jehana has been saying that France is going to turn on the West and side with Russia. Now we're seeing the first piece of that happening. France lost all its economic power in Africa, and in a desperate move, they're going to side with Russia. They already are at odds with America. Just like I believe like a year and a half ago, maybe 2 years ago, America kicked them out of a submarine deal with Australia, and France been pissed at them for that for years. So it's just been little things brewing up, but now it's finally coming to a head, and you are going to see. Commander Johanna said it first. He prophesied that France is going to side with Russia. And brother, I'm talking about every prophecy that the ISUPK has put out underneath Christ is coming to pass. And brother, it's a glorious thing to be in this truth in this day and age. You had anything, Rosh?
Yeah, call concert. So, in case the brothers and sisters who may not know, I believe France is Gomer, and Russia is Gog or Magog.
So Russia is Gog.
Gog.
Magog is the former Soviet Union. So Magog would be like Ukraine. Those countries that broke off from the Soviet Union, which Russia is attempting to regain those territories. The first piece of those territories is Ukraine. Ukraine was once part of the Soviet Union, meaning it was part of Russia. That's why it's a Ukraine-Russian war right now. Russia is attempting to get its former glory back, just like the scripture says. The scripture says that the Lord was going to put hooks in the mouth of Gog and turn him back. Meaning it was a point in time in the 1990s where Russia and America were on good terms. They were allies. It seemed like the Cold War was over with, and we didn't have to worry about nothing like that no more. But the prophecy said that Gog will have hooks put into his mouth and turned back. And we see that going on today. Russia is going back towards the lane of the Soviet Union and being a colonial power.
Right.
And brother, it's a glorious time. It's a glorious time. If you're a brother or you're a sister, Black, Hispanic, or North American Indian, you better contact the ISUPK. It's gonna come a time you're not gonna see these classes online. It ain't gonna be no breakdowns. You ain't gonna see us on the street. We're gonna be at our safe houses that we prepared for World War III. We're gonna be with the brothers and the sisters. We might be with cows and sheep and all types of stuff, chickens, and well prepared somewhere. We might have a couple barrels of scotch,
tequila.
Tequila for Captain Quad. Getting it on.
Right.
Is there any questions or anything in the chat?
No, so not too many questions. Just brothers look like they was really tuned in.
Most High in Christ. All right. So yeah, just want to hop on here, give that quick breakdown of what's going on with the situation in France. France lost all its economic power due to losing its colonial position in Africa, which came from a coup d'etat from militant leaders rising up that cared about their people, overthrew the government, and now here we are. Most High in Christ for it. So let's see. Okay, the next war report we're gonna do. We're gonna go over the Middle East theater. We're gonna do Gaza. What's going on in Gaza? A lot of people think that the war in Iran, the war in Gaza is over. That's not true. They're getting it on right now.
Right.
So I believe we kind of jam-packed this week. We got events, camp, all types of stuff. Maybe Sunday, Ross, we hop back on, have another episode of the War Report, and we'll get it on. You got anything to watch?
No, sir. Pretty much meet us down at Detroit. You know what I'm saying? Detroit this Saturday. We got camp. It's gonna be heavy.
Most High in Christ, give it up to Captain Hadaria Allah, his whole heavy hitting team. We'll be in the city of Detroit having camp, and right after camp, we'll be at Flood's Bar and Grill watching the Canelo and Crawford fight. Break bread with us, have a drink with us, and chop it up. All right, with that, I'm gonna go ahead and pass the class over to Priest and Officer Raj Karab.
Sounds great.